Welcome to Through the Table Podcast with Brian, JL, Tom, Rick, and Russ.
Through the Table Podcast presents the first annual Juvis, the 2021 awards. The 10 categories are Best Match, Breakout Star, Best Title Reign, Best Pay-Per-View or Show, Best Ass Meet, Best Storyline or Angle, Best Faction, Best Male Wrestler, Best Female Wrestler, Best Tag Team.
We have Breakout Star of the Year.
Ooh.
So this I had a little trouble with just because I feel like I haven't been as what's the word I'm looking for? Vigilant with my watching of the indies.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of the stuff I've been watching is New Japan, AEW, WWE stuff.
Right.
But so like I don't think anybody on NXT 2.0 is a breakout star. Like I just don't see. There's nobody on there. I need to tune in on Tuesday to watch this, or I need to set my DVR or whatever, And so it pretty much just kind of pointed me towards AEW, and I shouldn't say the only person I could think of, but the one that really stuck out, was Dante Martin. So I figured, I feel like he made the best with his brother getting hurt, and just luckily they saw something in him that they, didn't want him just sitting home while his brother was on the mend, and they actually,
Right.
put him out there and as a single star, somewhat of a tag team with Leo Rush for a couple matches, but they're actually doing something with him, putting him in a storyline.
Yep.
It's pretty decent, compelling storyline. He's got a little feud going on with Ricky Starks right now. I just think, that it's just his matches are extremely fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a freak of nature when it comes to some of these high spots.
Very true.
And it's just, I think he's only going to get better with time.
Oh, yeah. And he just turned 21.
I actually had I follow, what's his name? Jeremy Padawa from, he does the AEW figures.
Right.
And there was a tweet he posted the other day. It was like, tweet something that wasn't around in the year 2000. And that was my answer was Dante Martin.
That's great.
Yes, really. It's a good one.
That blows my mind.
I know.
Dante Martin is a great pick. I went to a different gender for this award. I was thinking of somebody who wasn't champion at the beginning of the year. Somebody, to be quite honest with you, I remember watching her interviews at the beginning, and she was freaking atrocious. Couldn't speak to save her life and barely could work. And she has molded herself into somebody who legit should be one of the pillars. I know Punk made a joke about it or made a reference to it, but she should legit be one of the pillars of AEW. And that's Brit Baker. I don't think anyone had a better year than she did, in my opinion. And she became a star in 2021, and she may actually be the best woman in the business right now.
One of them.
which is
Can't
pretty
deny it.
wild,
Mhm.
when you think about it, just because she's still relatively, what, I think less than 5 years in, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken,
Somewhere in that range.
maybe around
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
she should have been mentioned for Ass Meat as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Ass Meat DMD.
Yeah, this one, I went through all the indies, all Japan, and I came back to the same name Rick did. It was Dante Martin. There just wasn't a lot of, I was thinking more of a younger person than, say, someone in their mid-20s, someone that's only been in the business for under 2 years. And he was the one that I came up with. It was tough to, independent wise, usually there's a few, and this year there just didn't seem to be any.
Yeah.
Any just new up and coming guy that came out of nowhere, or girl that came out of nowhere.
Although now that this name just popped in my head, if you haven't seen this person, I would go out of your way to just watch this person wrestle. They wrestle mostly for GCW. His name is Ninja Mac.
I've heard the name. I haven't seen them.
He's like, do you remember Blitzkrieg from WCW?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where he was just doing insane,
Mhm.
like he's like Blitzkrieg, but
Oh,
like times 1,000. Like
Wow.
he's some of the stuff I've been seeing him doing. It's unnatural.
I'll have to check it out.
I definitely recommend checking him out. He's just some of the stuff I've been seeing from him is just it's on another level.
Interesting. I know a bunch of different people had offered him contracts and he had been refusing them.
Ninja Mac?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I think MLW, Impact, and he said no to both of them because he wants to work in Japan when the COVID's over. So I think he's kind of waiting his time. He'll just work GCW and other indies before he can get over there.
Right.
I just
Yeah,
don't think he
definitely
wants to lock himself into any kind of deals.
A lot of people don't nowadays.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. I've heard about him and I've heard a lot of people rave about him. I just haven't.
Yeah, I've only seen like a few full matches, but I've been seeing like clips and stuff.
Breakout Star.
Ooh.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
'Cause
you go
we'll
first.
do it this way.
Holla,
You
holla.
go, and then I'll go.
You'll flip every other. Sounds good.
So I'm going with Dante Martin because it was definitely his year to shine in AEW. He was in Top Flight. Top Flight seemed to have disintegrated with the injuries,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think they were going to make anything of him. And now they're making something of him.
Yep.
So I think it's kind of like Rookie of the Year. And you got to give it to Dante Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm gonna say Brit Baker, just because she arguably had the best match in AEW history / best women's match in AEW. And
that I could agree with.
And she put the AEW women's division that has been suspect and may continue to be suspect on the map.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is sus.
Because, I mean, women's divisions everywhere else, WWE, I mean, whether they do terrible things or whatever, is far and away, mostly better than what AEW brings to the table. But
We like to copy our friends and say more gooder.
right. And but Britt Baker kind of separated herself to be even more than the women's division, even more than, oh, I'm Adam Cole's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So she is somebody that you want to beat too. Like if you're in the women's division,
oh yeah,
she's a someone to put on your mantle, if you get a victory over her. So as of right now, Britt Baker.
we have best pay-per-view or major show. And the first one that immediately came to mind as soon as I read this was All Out from this year.
Yep.
Mhm.
100%.
Anyone's denying that one. All three of us, I
Yeah.
think. Yes, correct.
Yeah, top to bottom, that was, you know, there was a few things that I wasn't a fan of, but for the most part, that was just, I don't think anything even close, like came close. Full Gear was close,
Was
but
good. Not as
but
good.
yeah, All Out was just,
Yeah.
Full Gear
I was
had a
highly
couple
enter-
of spots that were just, or matches that could have done without.
I was highly entertained by both of those shows.
Mhm.
Start
for
to
sure.
finish, loved them both, but you know, All Out just was absolutely amazing. The return of Punk in the ring,
Mhm.
the debut of Danielson and Cole
Right.
and Ruby Soho coming out. And
Mhm.
I mean, it was like, other than stupid Paul White, they
Right. Yeah.
that whole show, I mean, it was literally something for everybody.
Mhm.
And just excitement after excitement. It was
Right.
amazing.
so yeah, I was pretty
Oh.
unanimous on that.
Yeah. Best pay-per-view or best show?
Hmm.
It's easy. Go ahead, Russ.
No, you drop.
No,
the
you.
hammer.
It's turns. It's turns.
Yeah, Russ is up now.
All right. Well, then, obviously, JL's is December to Dismember from a few years ago.
Dude, it really
Still watching
was the show I love to hate.
I mean, is everybody gonna did everybody say, AEW? I mean,
Which one?
the
All three agreed on the AW, but what pay-per-view? I'm sure you know.
it was All Out, right? It was
Correct. Yes. Yep, all
mean-
three picked it. Yep.
that's the only pay-per-view that I went to somebody's house to watch this year.
Hmm.
There was that like lovely feeling of going to somebody's place and just having a good time watching wrestling,
Right.
eating pizza, whatever.
Hmm.
So it has to be that. It has to be that because, and it was also a great paper, like match in,
Yeah.
match out, that was just like, it was awesome. And even if some things went astray,
Hmm.
forgot about it because
Right.
it was
Yep.
the sum of all parts,
Correct.
instead of just like everybody remembers, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, but then the afterthought is like, oh, Kane won the world title right after that. too.
Exactly. No one remembers that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Hmm.
But there's multiple matches on that show
Yep.
that you can watch again, look
Mhm.
back on, will have a certain impact for the future.
Yep.
And also it'll have an impact for the future solely by being on that show next year,
Hmm.
because they have to match it
Right. Exactly.
or surpass it.
Hmm.
How are they going to do it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not going to be that easy.
No. But JL, continue, I guess.
Yeah, it's the same one, so I'm not gonna All Out. I can't top what you just said.
It's not the
So
Crockett Cup?
was just a show. What?
It's not the Crockett Cup.
Not the Crockett Cup. Oh yeah, the canceled Crockett Cup. Yeah, that brought me together. Hard Times 2. Now, come on, man. It was All Out. It was the only one. Although, good job, Dick Murdoch. I'm just saying. Not Dick Murdoch. What's his name?
Trevor.
Trevor Murdoch. Good job, Trevor Murdoch.
Well,
You
I
did
mean,
it.
and also an honorable mention though is and I was there too, so that had a little bit of a tinge to it, but like when I went to WrestleMania this year, that opening, just like
Yeah.
I got like emotional about it.
And I'll
and-
tell you this, your friend Tom thought that's what you would pick because you were there.
yeah, I mean, it's certainly a big. And then the Bianca Belair match was pretty incredible. Probably the match of the nights.
Sure.
But then, I mean, again, yeah, All Out was just overtook it. So, but that's not to say WrestleMania was bad.
Sure. No, I hear you.
But yeah, but All Out for sure.
All right.
We have best tag team. This I kind of had
I had like 3 different choices
Yep.
for this
I
one.
I did have a few, but I went with the Lucha Bros.
Hmm.
They were they were pretty consistent with most of their matches. I mean, they were having some good ones with FTR. They had the steel cage with the Bucks.
Right.
I mean, you could easily give that to the Bucks as well.
Mhm.
And I'm sure somebody else might, but yeah, I went with the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, they were one of the 3 I had. Not the one I picked though.
Yeah, they were on my list. It's funny, all the tag teams that were on my list are in AEW, which I mean, WWE doesn't focus on tag team wrestling anyway. I'm pretty sure they just throw people together and say, all right, you guys are tagging now.
Outside
And
of
then
like
the
3
next-
teams, that's all they do.
Yeah. I went with a surprise on this. FTR.
Oh, okay.
Because
They were on my short list too.
yeah, they were everywhere. They held titles. They were in matches all over the place. I think work-wise, they worked more than any other tag team in AEW.
Probably
They're showing
yeah.
up on
Mhm.
Dark and all this other stuff, but
Yep.
I don't think another tag team had a better year than those guys. I thought 2021 gave them what they needed as far as being an impactful tag team, which they never were in WWE. They should have been, but they weren't.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, of course, I went with the other team in AEW with the Young Bucks, but I also had the Briscoe brothers on my list as one of the teams. I mean, yeah, they might not have had the same talent that they get to fight as the people in AEW, but
Right.
they're hands down one of the best teams out there.
I thought of the Briscoes too. Like that was it was literally like I went Lucha Brothers, Bucks,
Yeah.
FTR, Briscoes.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, I feel like if there was more eyes on them,
Yeah,
I think they would have been
agreed.
probably
Right.
higher up.
Mm-hmm. I
You know
agree
what I mean?
with that.
Like you really have to search out what the
Oh, yeah,
Briscoes
you
were
do.
doing this year.
Yes, right.
But I mean, what they
Next
were
year,
doing was
next
incredible.
year, I think will be a difference with them. If all signs are pointing towards AEW and FTR feud, I think you'll see them really jump up. But I picked the Bucks just because Lucha Brothers, FTR, everyone they fought, Jurassic Express, everybody. It's good matches all around. Good. I don't think they had a bad match. At least a big match,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is especially with the Bucks, like this, yeah, they had the belts
Mhm.
for like half the year, but like that second half of the year, they were just putting on great matches and just putting everybody over too. They
Right.
were, what I mean? They
Exactly.
just had
Yeah.
and it was cool to see, just what I mean, like, because like a lot of those, I can't say a lot of those guys, but like when fan favorites like that, what I mean, they don't try to look weak.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
it's like, all right, they
Mhm.
lost the tag the belts. You put them in a match against Private Party next week, or Pillman and Garrison, and get
Sure.
their win back. But
Mhm.
they go they put over Jungle Boy and
Yep.
stuff like that. So I
Right.
think it works. It works good. And yeah, I mean they were definitely my I guess my second choice.
Yeah, they were featured so long now, they're just going to take the back burner for a few months and then get back
Right.
up there again. It goes in cycles. They know better than to stay up there too long, too high.
Right.
To the best tag team of the year.
This I think mine is gonna be controversial. But go on.
Okay.
Well, Russ is first.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a damn you in your controversy. Damn. All right.
Got to tease it a little bit.
You gotta tease it. You gotta tease these
Yeah,
things.
now
Top of the
now
hour.
I'm teased. Oh man. Tag team of the year.
From the three people that already picked, there are 3 different winners. That's how open it was this year.
Legion of Doom.
Every year.
1998.
Every year, Legion of Doom, Demolition, Powers of Pain.
I have a feeling someone picked or will pick the Usos.
No,
Really?
they were
Wow,
not picked.
yeah. All right.
They're not.
Um,
I don't believe they're tag team of the year.
No, yeah. Well, if someone didn't pick the Usos, then I think no one picked the New Day then.
Correct. No one picked the New Day. All 3
Wow.
teams were in AEW that were picked.
So that means Dinkface or whatever. Someone picked them. Someone picked the Young Bucks.
Yep.
I'm stalling here because you're gonna have to wait for JL's pick. It's hard not to pick one.
Pick a WWE team.
Yeah.
You need some love.
That's fine.
Yeah. Not as great as they have.
Say Street Profits. Say it.
I mean,
love them.
Street Profits are great, but not
Miz and
as,
Morrison.
I was gonna say Miz and Morrison. They've been greater,
Mm-hmm.
but now we'll never know the payoff
Heights.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
because they broke up or whatever.
Correct.
But we'll never see the payoff of that match. But like
Mm-hmm.
they just kept doing it, keep doing it, kept doing it, what
Right.
have
Doing it
you,
well.
and
Mhm.
doing it well. Having a world champion in the same year, be a part of a tag team helps a little
Sure.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly they didn't have that crazy Young Bucks Lucha Brothers match or have like even matches that they've had before
Right.
that you're not going to see from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see even people saying like the Usos and all that, but I'll say Miz and Morrison because they're always around. They're just always around. Well, not anymore, but the Miz finds himself to be in everywhere at all times.
Yep.
And he just fought Edge, and then most likely he's going to be in another tag team for WrestleMania or maybe Royal Rumble with his
Yep.
wife
Right. Right.
to fight Edge. So the Miz is
And Matt
always in the
Cardona, right?
conversation.
Matt Cardona.
And if also Miz and Morrison, because if they ever went to AEW, if
Mhm.
they ever went to Impact, if they ever went to NWA, if they ever went to Ring of Honor, whatever,
Sure.
they would either have the title or be challenging for it instantly.
Sure.
That's
I could
true.
see that for sure. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
That would be true.
So now the drum roll begins.
Oh, we teased it enough.
All right.
Who is the pick?
My air got a little put out there because you said honorable mention is my mention. The current reigning and defending ROH Tag Team Champion, GCW Tag Team Champion, the Briscoe Brothers.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm going off book. I'm shooting.
Potential future AEW tag team champion.
Correct.
Potential future AEW
I
Tag
think
Team
so.
Champion.
Mm-hmm.
They had a year. They had a great year. They closed it off with titles, and
Mhm.
they're doing really great promos. I mean, I think they're on top of their game this year,
Definitely.
or
And
last year, I should say. And they're going into a great feud with FTR, which is awesome in itself.
And along with them, there's no end in sight for them. Whereas Miz and Morrison, there's an end in sight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have the Briscoe brothers, where only one of them was a world champion, correct?
Yeah. Jay.
Yes.
Hmm.
But that counts. If you have a world champion as a
Yep.
tag team member, that counts. Whatever you're
Oh,
on.
for sure. Doesn't matter how long ago it was. You're the champ. You never get it taken away.
Right. So that's a good pick.
Mhm.
Best next is second to last one. It was is best female wrestler. And so my choice was someone that Tom talked about earlier, which was Britt Baker.
Mhm.
You know, pretty much the same reasons why, you know, Tom said. I feel like she went from being like, oh my God, get this girl off my television, to
Yeah.
like, oh wow, this, you know, she's, you know, compelling TV. Her matches are good. Her
Mhm.
promos are, you know, are awesome. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's the, you know, if she's like putting more of herself into like her heel promos, or if they're giving her a little freedom. I'm not,
Probably
I
a
don't know exactly,
combination.
you know, but I just feel like her heel promos are a lot way better than the stuff she was trying to do as a face.
Mhm. Oh, for sure.
But I do
I'm-
feel, yeah. No, go ahead,
Sorry.
Tom.
No, go.
No, I was just gonna say I do feel like that. You know, nobody had no female had a year like her. You know, like I actually have it in my text. It was kind of like, I didn't know if I had Britt Baker or Bianca, but then it was just thinking about it. The first half of Bianca's year was fantastic, but then
The
she hit
SummerSlam.
that SummerSlam thing, and then it just went where Britt was just constant.
Death. Yep.
You know, so
Mhm.
I just, and that's why I chose Britt instead
Mhm.
of Bianca. Like, but yeah, you can't. I don't think there's anyone else that had a better year than her as a female.
Have you
Well-
ever seen somebody just turn the light switch on like Britt Baker? You remember those few promos at the beginning when she first turned heel?
Mhm.
And she's with Tony Schiavone and she's rambling about whatever, and she just looked so unsure of herself, and she was stumbling over her words. She didn't have the mannerisms or anything. It just, every time I saw those early promos, I was like, what? Why is she even on the TV? She doesn't
Get
know what
her
the hell
off
she's
by
doing.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she had no clue. And she went from that in a span of like, what, 3 to 4 months, to all of a sudden becoming what she is now. I've never seen it. Just somebody just boom. Never
I mean,
seen that before.
The last time I saw that, and I know I'm probably gonna get a. It's like The Rock. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
he was Rocky Maivia,
Yes.
it was like, get this dude off my TV.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
and then that
Yep.
switch flipped, and it was like, whoa, where has this person been?
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, I don't think she. You know, is she going to be as big as The Rock? Probably not. But at the same time, I do feel like the transition from face to heel was just such a natural,
Oh yeah.
like just transition that it was. I mean, yeah, I couldn't think of anybody that got that as fast as she did.
yeah, it's amazing to me. It's night and day. She's a completely different person, and she's fantastic now. Obviously, she's my pick on that. I can't have her as the breakout star and not have her as the best female star.
And don't forget the match with Thunder Rosa she had.
That match was fantastic. That match was absolutely fantastic.
Mhm.
I don't think there's another worker in the business, male or female, who had a better year than she had. Going
yeah.
from next to, I'm going to say it, going from next to nothing, who, to be honest with you, you first see her on TV, she's underwhelming. She couldn't work. She couldn't talk. I'm thinking she's not going to have a job soon, to going to what she is now. Unreal. Can whatever she found, whatever fountain of youth or whatever it is that she found, what magic she found, can we give some to Brian Pillman Jr.?
So what about you, Brian? What do you got for female? Did you go Brit as well?
I couldn't go because I figured everyone else was, and I knew Russ would pick Bianca.
Yep.
I went off the board and I went to Japan. And I went
How
to,
was it there?
Very nice. Very nice this
Good.
time of the year. I went with Utami Hayashishita.
I
She's
am
had
Tommy, yes.
the title for 13 months there. And every show she's had 4 to 5 star matches. I mean, yes, she just did lose the title, but that's besides the point.
Right.
But I figured everyone was going to go with the normal picks. I just wanted to go a little bit off the ball. Not that she sucks at all, but Japan's a different story at times, and I got to get my Japan love in there somewhere.
Yeah.
2 left. We'll go do the best female of the year. Female
That
wrestler.
is my call.
Yes.
Best female wrestler is my emotional crush, Thunder Rosa. It is not Brit Baker.
Nice.
And I know everyone else's is Brit Baker.
No, just 2 people's. Rick
Tell
and
us
Tom.
tell us the emotions you feel.
Well, for Thunder Rosa, I felt that she's just the best. She comes from NWA. Like, that's when I first met her.
Mhm.
And then we went to Impact and AEW. Like, she's had a year. Like,
Yeah.
more than I felt our good friend Britt Baker, who is awesome in herself. But I think she just had that. She's that much more.
Well, she also started to be a thing before Britt Baker.
Right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
my point.
Yes.
Like, she was in NWA.
Mhm.
She was in Impact Wrestling.
Yep.
She was in AEW. Like,
She's
And
an
she's-
attraction.
And don't forget,
And
she
she-
started her own promotion, Mission Pro Wrestling, too.
and she's an MMA fighter.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
She's a threat against any woman in the business.
Yeah.
She's an attraction. You want to actually watch her matches,
Mhm.
and we'll be excited when you see her come out. And I was gonna say hear her music, but I don't know what her music is. But
Thunder
just-
Yeah, it's
Rosa.
just Thunder Rosa and a lot of heavy
Yeah.
metal banging with it.
You want to hear it again? Thunder Rosa.
Well, they were trying to get Thunderstruck for it, but AC/DC wanted a ton of money,
Oh,
so
millions
that
and
wasn't
millions.
happening.
Really,
Yeah.
that's
Hmm.
no question.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I'm gonna have to say Bianca Belair. Again,
Well,
same-
that's
same thing, because it wasn't her that killed her year. It was a decision from the back that killed her year.
yep.
right.
And obviously that happens.
Oh yeah.
And maybe it's just one of their tests that they do just to see how she takes it. But I feel that she was on top of the mountain,
Hmm.
to where if they did everybody was looking forward to Bianca's match at SummerSlam.
Yep.
And then everybody was really excited for her to have maybe even like a 7-minute match with Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this 28 seconds or whatever it is going to be her, Sheamus, Daniel Bryan thing, but by all means, like, not that I want the Street Profits to leave, but like she could be like the Carmella of Enzo and Cass and be
Mhm.
there when everybody else leaves, kind of thing.
Sure.
Like she has years and years and years ahead of her
Yep.
to be a thing. So Bianca Belair.
Last but not least is the best male wrestler. And this
Mhm.
same thing, I have a 1A, and I really wouldn't call it a 1B, more like an honorable mention. But my pick for wrestler, the best male wrestler, was Bryan Danielson.
Hmm.
He was the main event of WrestleMania this year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Had a crazy match with Kenny Omega, half-hour time limit draw. Match with Hangman, the hour draw. He had the match with Miro from the pay-per-view, the match
Mhm.
with Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
It just everything that he does, whatever company it was for, it was always great. There's I'm sure there's better title reigns, and he didn't have any title reigns this year, but
Sure. Right.
but at the same time, I don't think there was anybody better, like work rate wise,
Mhm.
than him. And I feel like in my opinion, he was probably the best. I mean, kind of like same thing with you. I'm sure like a lot of people are gonna pick Omega, or whatever. But like I kind of wanted to
Oh,
go a
sure.
little bit,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
same thing with my honorable mention, which I know you guys are gonna laugh at.
Almost.
But no, not
MJF.
my honorable mention is for wrestler of the year is Matt Cardona.
Well, that's Shale's pick. Come on.
And if it is, that's awesome. Honestly, like when thinking about it, he was one of the first people that came to mind.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know, it's kind of awesome. He goes from getting fired to like just working everywhere.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
literally everywhere. Just
Mhm.
any he was working in Alaska. I saw him do a vlog from he worked the BWO in Alaska.
Yes, he did.
He's GCW champ. He's
Mhm.
he's working was it AIW? He's AIW. What is it? Absolute and Intense champ.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Showed up on NWA a couple weeks ago. Like
Mhm.
it's I mean I know the AEW run was last year, but it's like
Right.
Since he left WWE, he's been doing his stuff in Impact.
Mhm.
He's just he's and it's funny too because I don't even really like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh, sure. Mhm.
I'm not really entertained by him. He's not
Mhm.
my cup of tea. Like, but like I do like his gimmick that he's it's like he's too big for all these
Yep.
little like he's just
Mhm.
it's the he's doing the Kurt Angle, like he's trying to be like I'm putting eyes on this company, but he's like doing it in such a like a douchey way that he's a heel.
Yes.
Like even though he thinks he's like I'm doing this for the better,
Right.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
The whole thing with the GCW fans calling him the GCW universe, like
Right.
just
Right.
little
Mhm.
things like that, just hilarious to me.
Mhm.
But like also, seeing these the GCW shows, they've been running bigger venues,
Yep.
since he's been there. Like
Correct.
he's been, I hate to say it, but putting butts in seats.
Can't deny it.
AIW, same thing. He started working there. Like more people, they had to move to bigger venues because they're
Mhm.
selling more tickets. I mean, he worked friggin' Beyond Wrestling a couple weeks ago. Like he's everywhere, and I think
Right.
that's awesome that he's out there just every weekend doing something. And it's kind of cool that she's actually putting eyes on indie wrestling.
Final category. I didn't go off the board too far, but we'll see. Best male wrestler. Go ahead.
Is it me? I think it's Russ.
No, it's Russ.
Oh, okay.
Russ is up first.
Best male wrestler of the year. It's not CM Punk. It could have
Just say
been.
Roman Reigns.
It's not CM Punk, and it could have been. It's not Roman Reigns, though he deserves it.
Yes.
He's consistent, and I would imagine maybe Rick said Roman Reigns, possibly.
No, he did not.
Wow. Okay.
Rick had two
Nope.
people on it. He had an
Oh, a
honorable
tie. He had a
mention.
tie.
No, he had an honorable mention in the winner. And
Wow. Okay.
both of those you may not get.
Gotcha. Male wrestler of the year.
Goldberg.
Dun,
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 dun, dun, dun, dun.
You may never be welcomed back if that was the answer.
Joey Janela.
Mine was Marco Stunt, so I think we both win.
Wow.
Well,
Well, that's quite a
All right, who is it? Who are they?
wow.
it's Reggie, we know.
Actually, Reggie's pretty awesome. Reggie's pretty great. There's nothing wrong with Reggie. How dare you? I'm gonna say. I mean,
I'm going to keep guessing WWE guys. I'll get one right.
no, it's not a WWE guy.
Sheamus.
Let's see if you can guess this. This might be
Well,
too big of
I'll
a-
give you Rick's pick. I think it might be the same one.
okay.
Bryan Danielson.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Oh,
That was Rick's pick, was Bryan Danielson, and his honorable mention was Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona, I did think about, especially after JL's raving.
Mm-hmm.
Of,
Rick must have heard. Rick must have heard in the future what JL was going to tell him.
mhm.
yeah.
But I'm gonna say, not because of the talent of this wrestler, but the fact that he got to a place that there's no reason he should have. Not in a bad way, good way, whatever. Like you could say that about the Miz. Like there's no chance that he should have ever been world champion ever. And
This
look
is
what
true.
look what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're 100% correct about the Miz.
But that's not my pick. And this person that I'm gonna pick
Almost.
is what
Almost.
this person I was gonna pick is not gonna have a match of the year ever. Not gonna be
Almost.
not gonna
Almost.
not gonna be a world champion in
Any promotion.
So it is Joey
any
Janela.
well, not in a huge promotion.
Oh, okay.
And this person might not be alive after this
PCO.
podcast, but I'm gonna say male wrestler of the year just because of what he was able to prove by getting on AEW television. Nick Gage.
Wow.
Whoa. Hey, Nick Gage.
Wow.
Mr. Pizza Cutter himself.
He was. I didn't know who the hell he was, and then there's the dark side of wrestling,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
then who's this crazy guy?
Right.
And then he got on AEW television. Is not a good wrestler at all.
No. No.
Not even a little bit.
No.
And he proved that against Chris Jericho.
Yes, yes,
But
he did.
the fact that he got there, the fact that that even happened,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that he's just could come back, he's in the like people will go and see it. Like
Yep.
that's impossible.
Well, he helped GCW
Impossible.
get to where they are.
Yeah, and like he's in pop culture in the way
Mhm.
where like what he did to former WCW world champion
David Arquette.
David
Mhm.
Arquette.
Right, right.
David F. and Arquette.
Right. He was in moments this year, and all you need is one moment, but
Yes.
he had a handful.
He had at least 7.
Maybe, yeah.
7 handfuls. Wow.
Handfuls. The Salma Hayek Award, 7 handfuls.
So finish us off, JL. Who's your pick?
Well, I think it's quite obvious who my pick is. Should I even bother? Like, should I say it?
You have to.
Dean.
Matt Cardona.
Icon Dean?
Icon Dean.
The icon. Biggest icon in wrestling. No, Matt Cardona. He broke out. He did everything after his termination. He was one of the first Juventud Guerrera wrestlers of the week. He has his own toy line.
He started
Tapping out
in
to Chelsea Green.
Mhm. He currently does not have COVID.